My Lords, I think you might be interrupted by a vote at some point, so I will try to be quick, although I might not. I thank the Noble Lord the Minister for his comments, and I will read them in Hansard and make sure I've fully understood where our interests overlap and where there's any diversion. And thank you to all Noble Lords who've been part of the debate. I have listened carefully to everybody. And I know that the Noble Lords Caithness, Mancroft, Hamilton and Trenchard care very deeply about these issues, and their views are very valuable. But I did find it quite repetitive. We've heard all this before. We have been told that the two committees will not clash, that they have particular remits that are going to be extremely clear. And I also think perhaps we underestimate the interest of both committees in terms of being able to understand, where they might actually work together and where they absolutely must not, because it's not relevant. And so I personally don't have those same fears about any sort of overlapping. I'm very happy that the Noble Lords Caithness and Trenchard agree with the concept of policy in the round. The minute they started agreeing with me, I started to wonder if perhaps I didn't know what I was talking about, but I will look into that. I take Lord Mancroft's point about what he's trying to do is tie the hands of the animal sentience committee, and I just don't think that is appropriate. The Noble Lord Trenchard, Viscount Trenchard, did mention animal rights activists. Now, this is a term that's been thrown at me in the last, when we did round one of this bill, and perhaps he could tell me what he thinks he means by that in reference to me. He can always send me a private email if he prefers. And a big thank you to Lord Trees for his comments, and to Baronesses Bakewell and Hayman for their support, which is incredibly valuable. And they both did an excellent summary, much better than I did. And so thank you for that. And also Baroness Hayman talked about the committee being a critical friend, which I think is incredibly valuable and something perhaps the government doesn't have enough of. I would argue that our house, your Lordship's house, is a critical friend, but we don't always have the same opportunities to support the government when the government actually changes its mind. The Noble Lord Robertson, a tsunami of people who wanted us to put animal sentience back into legislation, and of course, most people,
I'm sorry,
probably haven't used that term before, but they certainly had once the government had taken it out of the legislation that they moved over.
Baroness Jones, I have to adjourn the committee.